There are moments when a government quietly changes the rules of the game, and this is one of them. As of the 17th of July 2026, supporting or assisting Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, is a criminal offense in the United Kingdom. The maximum penalty? Up to 14 years in prison. That should make all of us pause, not because of the number, but because of what it tells us. Now, before we go any further, who exactly are the IRGC? So, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was created in 1979 after the Iranian Revolution. It's not simply another branch of Iran's military. It answers directly to Iran's supreme leader, controls vast economic interests, oversees Iran's ballistic missiles program, and through its overseas Quds force projects Iranian influence far beyond its own borders. The IRGC has funded, trained, armed, and supported groups including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and a number of Shia militias operating in Iraq and Syria. The US has designated the IRGC as a foreign terrorist organization. Multiple countries have imposed sanctions on it, and for years, Western governments and intelligence agencies have linked the IRGC to assassination plots, hostage-taking, foreign influence operations, cyber activity, and support for armed groups across the Middle East. Let's also be absolutely clear about something. This law is not aimed at the Iranian people. The Iranian people are not the IRGC, just as the British people are not the British government. Confusing a regime with its people is intellectually lazy, and history shows where this kind of thinking leads us. Now, here's the part that many people have missed. The UK did not use the Terrorism Act of 2000. Instead, it used an entirely new legal framework created under the National Security State Threats Act 2026. Now, why does that matter? Because the government is not treating the IRGC simply as another terrorist organization. It is treating it as an instrument of a hostile foreign state. That is a very different legal category. And it sends a very different political message. For the first time, Britain has created and used a legal framework specifically designed to deal with hostile foreign state organizations and the networks that support them. That is not another consultation, not another review, not another strongly worded statement. It is the law. Under this new framework, supporting or assisting the IRGC is now a criminal offense carrying a maximum sentence of up to 14 years in prison. Obtaining a material benefit from the IRGC can also be a criminal offense, with only limited exceptions for legitimate journalism, diplomacy, and humanitarian work. The government has also removed one of the practical hurdles for prosecutors by no longer requiring them to prove a foreign power connection in every individual case involving a designated body. Where offenses involve espionage, sabotage, or foreign interference, even more serious penalties, including life imprisonment for some offenses under existing national security legislation, may apply. That is a fundamental shift in how Britain intends to deal with hostile foreign state activity. Whether you support this decision or oppose it, pretending it is business as usual would be very difficult. Iran certainly doesn't think it is. The Iranian government condemned the decision and summoned the British ambassador, making it very clear this has consequences well beyond Westminster. What happens next may be even more important than what has already happened. Will this law be enforced consistently? Will it remain focused solely on the IRGC? Or does this signal a broader willingness to use these powers against other organizations acting on behalf of hostile foreign states? Some people are already asking whether groups such as the Muslim Brotherhood will now face greater scrutiny. Maybe they will, and maybe they won't. The IRGC is part of a foreign state, so it falls into a different legal category. That distinction matters. But governments rarely create entirely new national security frameworks for a single moment in history. They create them because they expect to use them again. Whether that eventually extends to other organizations will depend on the evidence and whether they meet the legal threshold, not on political slogans. That is a debate for another day. Today's story is simpler. The British state has drawn a line. It has decided that support for or assistance to the IRGC is no longer something to be condemned only in speeches. It is now a criminal offense. Laws are easy to pass. The true test of any government is whether it has the resolve to enforce them fairly, consistently, and without fear of favor. And that is the part that I will be watching.